guys, I'm Kayla Root, and this is my very first YouTube upload. Cue music. That I will add in later. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about my favorite weird idioms. And idioms, for those of you who do not know, are those weird sayings that people say, like, let's think. Now it's back. Okay, printer wars, but it's those weird sayings like, take something with a grain of salt. So I'm going to be saying my favorite weird idioms, and I'll be telling you what they mean, and I will attempt to tell you their origin, but sometimes origins are unclear and under internet war, so I will tell you the origins that seem pretty certain. Okay? Alright, let's go. To pull wool over someone's eyes is basically saying that you're deceiving someone, but it originally came from the wearing of wool wigs by judges in British courts. The saying came from the practice of tilting a man's wig over his eyes so that he couldn't see what was going on. To fly off the handle typically means to get angry really fast, but its origin refers to axe heads, which were sometimes poorly fastened to their handles and could fly off while the axe was being used, creating, as you could imagine, a very dangerous situation. To speak of the devil typically means that someone appears right after you say their name, but it originally came from the belief that saying the devil's name would make him appear, which, pretty obvious. Okay, being part of the upper crust means you're part of the highest class, but in Middle Ages, the upper classes, the higher upper classes, even that, and nobility were offered the best part of the bread, which surprisingly was the upper crust, before anyone else was given their bread. There are also a lot of idioms centered around certain animals. So I'm going to start with horses and go from there. Okay, a dark horse. To say something's a dark horse is saying that it's an unknown or a mysterious figure. But this originally came from horse racing, where there might be a horse that was previously unknown to bettors, and therefore they couldn't place proper odds on that horse. Continuing with my horse idioms, the saying, "Don't look a gift horse in the mouth," is basically telling someone not to be ungrateful for a gift or a miracle that they previously received. The origin of this idiom is actually pretty unclear, and no one really knows for sure. To hold your horses is another way to say to be patient, and this comes from the United States in around the 19th century. It's in a couple books if you want to check those out, though they're boring 19th century books, so that's why I didn't use the quotes on here. To beat a dead horse is to continue a matter that's already closed. And according to the Oxford English Dictionary, which is this dictionary that knows all the words of English and their derivatives and phrases even, it's awesome, but don't try reading it. I mean, there's some guys who read it and then they wrote books and their lives were like, whoa, afterwards, so disclaimer. Alright, this expression was first used by John Bright, who was an English politician and orator, in referring to the Reform Act of 1867, which was calling for a more democratic representation in Parliament. In a speech, John Bright said that trying to rouse Parliament from its apathy on the issue would be like trying to flog a dead horse in order to make it pull a load. Okay, so that's all the horse idioms I got that are weird, but cat idioms, alright? A kitty corner, which is also known as a catty corner and has other weird pronunciations, is referring to something that is directly diagonal from someone's position. And it's usually someone like in a square or rectangle-shaped building. More easy to understand that way, but this actually stems from the word C-A-T-E-R, cater, I'm assuming, which means to set or move diagonally. No, nothing to do with cats, let's just say. To let the cat out of the bag is to reveal a surprise, usually by accident. The origin is unclear, but it's believed to derive from an instrument used by the Royal Navy called the cat-o'-nine-tails. This instrument was used as a punishment / torture aboard ships, and the whip's 9 knotted cords were able to do a lot of damage and like scratched up the bodies, which is why they're related to cat-o'-nine-tails. So this weapon had usually been kept in a bag made of leather, which was to protect it from drying out in the salty air and would keep it flexible. The saying, "cat got your tongue," is used against someone who isn't speaking. This one actually has 2 possible origins that are under debate. One goes back to our friends in the Royal Navy with their cat-o'-nine-tails, where it was said that the pain after beating them with this weapon was so severe that the victim would actually stay quiet for a long period of time afterwards. And another possibility is that it was from ancient Egypt, where liars and blasphemers, their tongues were cut out and fed to cats. The saying, "curiosity killed the cat," is used to warn of the dangers of unnecessary investigation or experimentation, but its original form was "care killed the cat," care meaning worries. And this form is actually seen in Shakespeare's play, Much Ado About Nothing, in the quote, ready for this, "What courage, man? What thou care, kill the cat. Thou hast mettle enough in thee to kill care." The saying, "no room to swing a cat," goes back again to our friends in the Royal Navy. And this basically is when they would, oh, by the way, about this, it means that you're in a very small space. No room to swing a cat. So it goes back to our British Navy friends where they had to flog people on deck because to flog someone in the cabins wouldn't give them enough room to swing their cat-o'-nine-tails weapon in. Okay, finally, my last cat idiom is "it's raining cats and dogs." And this often signifies that it's raining very heavily outside. Believe it or not, I know. Woo, that's a hard one to guess. But no one really knows where this one's come from. This one comes from, yes, took the wrong word. Alright, so this one gives me a perfect transition into dog idioms. To wag the dog is to purposely divert attention to something of a lesser importance. This saying is thought to come from the saying that a dog is smarter than its tail, but if the tail were smarter than the dog, then the tail would wag the dog. The saying "sick as a dog" refers to someone being very sick, and this comes from the early 1700s when it was popular for people to use the word dog as dirty or even sick. Wow. Some of these are very easy to guess. But the saying "let sleeping dogs lie" basically means to not instigate trouble or avoid something that might cause trouble. And again, the origin of this term is also unknown. I'm sorry, guys. Can't get all of them, but going on, the dog days of summer are referring to the hottest part or hottest days of the summer. And this is my favorite. It actually comes from a celestial origin where the dog day is referred to a period from July 3rd to August 11th when Sirius rises nearly in conjunction with the sun. Alright guys, thank you for watching my YouTube first upload. I hope you subscribe, tell your friends. I could use all the people I can get in this stage of just starting out. I want to start out in a good way, so help me out there, guys. It's up to you. And I will be posting more videos every single Tuesday, because Tuesdays are fun. I don't know why, I just like them. So every Tuesday, come back and look at my new video. It will be cool. It will be nice. Let's say some other sort of good but not very enthusiastic words. It will be above average. But seriously guys, come check every Tuesday. I will put up a new video every week. And if I don't do that, I'll put up 2 a week. Like, honestly, it will be at least once a week. Trust me on this. Alright, so that's it. Yep. I don't know how to end the first video. Where do I stop talking? Alright. Try this again. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Click that little subscribe button. And I will be posting videos once a week every Tuesday, because Tuesdays are awesome and they're my favorite day of the week. No, they're not. I lied to you. I lied. No. Okay. So some of you might be wondering, why did I choose the screen name? And that was sarcasm. I am here to tell you that I actually enjoy sarcasm. Sarcasm is cool, especially when sarcasm is used in a response to sarcasm. I don't know, I just admire the use of sarcasm. It takes smarts, and it takes someone who can figure it out to dissect that it was sarcasm. So, I chose that name because of my love of sarcasm. It does not imply anything as to me constantly using sarcasm. I only use sarcasm when it's gonna be good. So, thank you for watching. That was the weirdest laugh ever.